Hi everyone, it's Willis, Kiwi Scrapper from New Zealand, and here today to share my first guest designer team project for the shop Shabbylicious on Zibbet, and that's Lele Lineca. That's Lele Lineca's shop over on Zibbet. Yeah, as I say, I've got the guest design spot for the month of July, and I know this like the 26th of July already here in New Zealand, but the package was delayed in postage, in postal services, and didn't reach me till a few days ago, and then I had computer problems. So anyway, enough of that, and I'm just going to show you what I have used in this first project for Lele, for Shabbylicious. And I didn't show you this when I put up my video showing the what I'd received in the package, and the main reason I did that was because I used this on my first project, and I accidentally left this in my craft room. So this is one of the like serviettes. Well, we call them table napkins here in New Zealand, but they can be called serviettes as well. Beautiful one, and I was so thrilled to see that Lele had included this particular one in the package. She's got some beautiful serviettes. I don't know where she gets them from. I've never seen them over in this part of the world, but this for me was always my favourite. And of course you get 4 images in the one serviette, which is amazing because you can use it on 4 different projects. As you can see, that one's missing because I've used it. And you've got the Eiffel Tower here. You've got this absolutely beautifully elegant lady, and you've got, it looks like French script. Well, it would probably be because you've got the Eiffel Tower there. So she's probably a French mademoiselle, but absolutely beautiful. So that's, when I saw that in the design package, I knew immediately that I was going to be using that in this first project. So thanks for including that, Lele, because that's just fantastic. Now this is the other things I've used from Shabbylicious. I've used this beautiful trim. It's a bit difficult to show you things close up because of my tripod, but absolutely stunning trim that I showed you ladies in the previous video. And because of the colour tones I was using for this project, I actually dipped mine, cut them into segments, which I'll show you on the project itself, and dipped them into a very weak solution of tea, just to tea stain them to get a champagne colour. And that's the versatility of this colour trim, isn't it? And these take beautifully to staining. So I mean, you know, you could stain them with avocados, you could stain them, which I have done in the past, with red cabbage, which gives a fantastic soft lilac colour, and on some trims will give a lovely soft blue colour, but usually a lilac colour, sort of more of a lavender than a lilac, I guess. I've stained with this kind of laces with beetroot juice, and that they come out, you know, depending on how long you leave them in. If they're too intense, you just run them under the tap. But you know, this type of trim, so versatile, because you can cut it up into different sections. You can, as I say, you can stain it, you can use it as it is. You know, you've got little flower motifs here you can use as well, and fronds. Now coming to this lace here, this beautiful dusky pink lace, absolutely glorious. It's just a beautiful colour to use on your vintage projects. This one here is another lovely trim, very versatile. As you can see, this is missing this bit here because I've used those on the project. I've used the rest of this piece on the project, and I tea stained it. And that's the difference in the colour, because this one was originally the same lovely ivory colour as that. So just by dipping it into a weak tea solution, I've got that lovely champagne colour from it. And down here, the embellishments I've used this delightful bird. I've used it on this side, but of course for your vintage projects you can use it on that side as well, if you don't want to introduce these colours. I've used these gorgeous little tiny pearl trims. They are so dainty, so much smaller than the ones that I've had in the past. And I've used these beautiful leaves. I just love these leaves. Absolutely beautiful colours. And there's so much you can do with these as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to show you my project. And this is something totally different than my usual style. And the first thing I'll tell you that this board actually is a piece of cardboard. It came to me, well, two pieces of it came to me with a paper collection sandwiched in between that I bought online, and it was obviously to keep the papers from getting harmed in postage. And I thought, well, I'm not going to throw that away because that's, you know, I can use that sometime. So I decided to use it on this project. And so that is the background of this. It's this piece of black-faced cardboard, and on the other side it's just a plain white. So it's been faced with some plain black paper, but it's got a little design through it. So this is well, it's not a photo layout. I suppose you'd call it an image layout. And here's the lady herself. And this is this beautiful napkin popped in there. And I actually Mod Podged several layers of pink tissue paper. It's not actually what I wanted to use, but I live 40 minutes from the city, so, you know, where the craft shops are, so it would have been an 80-minute round trip and trying to get in there and out there just to get some tissue paper. So I used what I had on hand, which is what we crafters do, and I used this tone here, and it worked very well. And here's the tissue. I think I used 4 layers of the tissue paper, Mod Podged each layer on separately. I tore them around the edges to give them a ruffled look, crumpled look, and then I applied a piece of silk, and it's like when it Mod Podges on, it becomes quite transparent. So this is a piece of silk here, and I frayed the edges of that, which you can't probably really see very much, but it's all frayed. And then I Mod Podged on the image, and I kind of crinkled it up to give her a very old look. I didn't crinkle up her face or her shoulders, but I crinkled up the dress and everything else. I ran some ribbon along this side and this side out of my stash, and we've got leaves. What are these called? Skeleton leaves. It's the first time I've ever used them, and these are big ones. So we've got pink there, and we've 2 pinks, one there and one over here, and we've got a pale sort of creamy beige one. Okay, on this side I put this lovely lace from Lele. It's this dusky pink one, and I ran that from the top to the bottom on this side, and then faced it with some pink Chinese braid for my stash, and then over top of that I put this other piece of lace for my stash. And then I think the next thing I did actually was I put the birds in, because I knew I wanted the birds. They're so beautiful, I had to use those birds. So there's 4 of them across there, flying around. Well, they're flying overhead of the lady. Over in this corner I did a bunch of flowers. Let's put them up there, and you can see there's a cherub, very 3-dimensional cherub in there. And that's actually a Christmas tree decoration. I did this sign saying Paris 1889, which is approximately when the Eiffel Tower went up. And I've curled that, tea-stained it and curled it and inked it and everything else. And we've got a doily here. We've got all these flowers. We've got pearl strands in between. And then I popped in some of these lovely, these gorgeous leaves from Shabbylicious. So I've used 1, 2, 3 in this little area. Just pop them in, and because they're because of the shape of them, you can angle them any way you want. This one I've put turned down. These ones I've used turned up. Then these motifs are out of this piece here. As I say, I tea stained it, so you'll see the difference in colour, but I didn't tea stain them for long, just a few seconds in a weak solution. I cut it out so that I had 1, 2, 3 flowers and just the 3 fronds down below, so all that I cut out of it, I can use that in a different project. And just started to pop these around where I felt they were needed. And the first one was this one here. I've put flat back pearls in here from my stash. These ones I've used these very dainty little ones from Lele, from Shabbylicious. They're a lovely ivory colour. So I've popped them onto the little flower bits in all of these ones. So there's 1, 2, 3, and one over here makes 4. You see that one over there? And they have really worked beautifully on this project. Okay, over here I've just used some Scrabble figures, blocks, whatever you want to call them, to spell out the word love. And because the, what is it they say, the course of true love never runs smoothly. So I've put the straight here and then I've angled it because it's never smooth, it's always angled, and then put that there. When my husband looked at it, he said, oh, this is how love starts out. He says it starts out all nice and straight and smooth, then you have a hiccup and it goes all funny, and then it starts to straighten up again. I thought that was quite funny the way he said that. Now this bit over here is from this lace from Shabbylicious, and tea stained, and I cut this bit of the garland piece off and just popped it in here, and I've cut 2 of these flower motifs off out of this and popped them there, and I overlapped them so that they've got dimension. Popped in a little flat back pearl there. Now we're coming over to this side where I put some of this raggedy, I don't know, I think it was off a doily, a vintage doily in my stash. I just cut a piece out of that and popped it in that corner with one of these, just move it over. Yeah, with one of these trims that I took out of the piece from Shabbylicious, and popped some flat back pearls in that one, just so that they were different embellishments from the Shabbylicious ones over here. And then I put a doily from my stash over top of the skeleton leaves, and just tucked in there is this part of this lace from Shabbylicious. It's just the three little prongs there. I just cut them out and I popped them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of them around there. So you see how versatile that one piece of lace is. I could have just laid it flat and it still would have looked pretty, would have looked lovely. But I've been able to use it here for the flowers, I've been able to use it for the garland, the swag, and I've used it here for the different pieces. And also there's one of them tucked in here. So that's six of that I've used altogether. And so I've put some flowers from my stash in here. Again, I've used these lovely pieces, leaf pieces from Shabbylicious, and these are a real favourite. I just love them, and I'm certainly going to be getting some more of them. Absolutely beautiful. They're pearlized, and they just give a very elegant look when you tuck them into your flowers. They just raise it above the ordinary. So this is 1, 2, 3 I've tucked in. I put 3 on this one and 3 on this one. And again, you can angle them differently because of the way they're shaped. And here I tucked in, I knotted a piece of fine pink tulle from my stash and just put it in here, and it runs under that side as well. Then I had a wooden heart, which I got from a friend recently, and I painted it 2 layers of gesso, 1 layer of antique white, which is a cream, and I wrote on it, we've got love here, so I put love is patient and kind. So that's written on there. And I just angled that and popped it up to give it a lot of dimension. Popped in 2 little pink flowers here, roses, and then popped, as I say, this other little piece, which is this piece from Shabbylicious here. And around the heart I put this trim that I had in my stash of pearls. Now I think that's all. So that just goes to show, I mean obviously the centrepiece is the beautiful Elegant Lady from this gorgeous serviette from Shabbylicious. She is the focal point, and then everything else around it. She's epitomizing love and is patient and kind. And everything else is, all the trims are just to enhance her. So that's my first project for July guest designs team spot, and I hope Lele likes it. I hope I've represented her lovely shop Shabbylicious as best I can, and I hope everybody else likes it. And you know, it's amazing what you can do with just take a flat piece of cardboard and you can turn it into something quite lovely with not too much effort. I mean, obviously, you know, it has to develop. Like the first thing I wanted to use was this here, and that was what I put down first, and then I started to work around it, just adding all the things. And for me, these birds up here from Shabbylicious I knew I had to use them, so they were put in quite early, and this lace actually was added a lot later and just tucked in. So the focal points for my layout here was this lovely lady from Shabbylicious and these birds, 4 birds from Shabbylicious, and then all the rest, and that trim of course, because I love that trim. So all the rest of it was just built up, laid around. So yes, I'll say goodbye for now, and please do pop over to Lele Lineca's channel. I'll put her channel link in the description box below, and I'll put the link to her shop Shabbylicious on Zibbet. So pop on over there, have a look. She's adding new things all the time, you know, and we need these new and beautiful things for our projects, don't we, ladies? Okay, saying goodbye now. Take care, you all. Bye.